So we are now moving on to step 4, which is creating our thesis. So a reminder, your thesis should be a restricted, precisely worded declarative. So what that means is it's a declarative statement. It's not a question. It is, you are declaring this sentence. And it should be precisely worded. Don't be vague. You should be quite specific. And what purpose does your thesis serve? Your thesis serves the purpose of telling your reader what to expect. And it is also the central purpose of your essay. Now, Paper 1 essays are guided analyses. So your thesis is the guiding thread through your essay. That's what makes it an analysis that is guided. You are proving a specific point, and that point is your thesis. It is the point that you are trying to make. So, we already have an idea of a thesis roughly outlined. As I said before, what really jumped out at me was that text and image were working together for a purpose. So my thesis is going to be structured around this. Now, the purpose, in your thesis, you cannot just say text and image are working together for the same purpose. What is that purpose? You have to be specific. Remember, it has to be precisely worded. So let's start with a first draft. In this comic strip, both text and image work together in order to, so what is the purpose? Communicate the message of the text. What is the message of the text? The message of the text is that everything will be okay. So this is obviously far too long and it's a little bit vague still, but there are parts that are okay. So in this comic strip, both text and image work together in order to. That is a good start to a thesis. It is declarative and it is quite specific, but we need to be more specific. And this is the bit that needs work to communicate the message of the text that everything will be okay. In order to encourage and reassure the reader. So does this connect with the points that I made earlier? So the points were colors, reinforce the image of the text, declarative, close up, that should be smiling. Let that be a lesson to us all. Yes, working on computers is great. We can go back, we can make changes, but it also means that we have become over-reliant on autocorrect. I'm sorry for that aside. So advice in the background, sleep in clouds, that's reassuring, to encourage and reassure the reader. Yes, I am happy with that thesis. So, in this comic strip, both text and image work together in order to encourage and reassure the reader. Sometimes, having both encourage and reassure would not be a good thesis because that is too vague. But if I make sure that I'm using both throughout the essay, I should be okay. Now, this is a precisely worded, restricted declarative because we're restricting ourselves to encouragement and reassurance. It's telling our reader what to expect. This is what we're going to be talking about, that in this comic strip, both of these work in order to encourage and reassure the reader, and it's the main point of our essay. So we have created our thesis and we are now well on our way to planning our essay. So our next step will be to create a peel plan, which will be the topic of our next video.